The new Formula One season for the calendar year 2023 at this point is officially really at that stage where it's getting underway. The first race is less than a month away at this point. Pre-season testing will be happening at the end of February, and a lot of car launches have already taken place, with some yet to actually happen. So there should be a lot of excitement in and around the Formula One world, and truth be told, there really is a lot, especially among fans, because pre-season really is that time when you can be cautiously optimistic about what exactly your team was going to be accomplishing. But the world of Formula One is never really that simple, and in fact the sport has found itself locked in a bit of a mini battle of sorts with governing body, the FIA. And as I said, this is a story that has been going on for quite a while, the back and forth, and there's been new salvos fired towards the FIA, which, truth be told, didn't really endear themselves in terms of popularity to Formula Ones, both the teams and the drivers, by actually making certain things illegal and clamping down on what drivers see as freedom of speech. So obviously that's an issue that has been brewing. Some fresh comments have been made, and in this video we're going to look at those comments that have been made by drivers and team principals and actually ascertain why exactly it is that, despite F1 being primed for a new boom period, the sport as well as its governing body really can't stop being at war with one another. Now, first off, let's talk about the comments that were made, and it's important to stress on the fact that, again, it comes from a variety of spaces. Now, Red Bull team principal Christian Horner was recently quizzed about, the drivers and the fact that the FIA has actually clamped down on freedom of speech, and this is what he had to say on the matter. He said that, look, I think it's a matter of finding a balance, and in the world we live in today, everybody has a voice, and that shouldn't be suppressed. So we don't want a load of robots that are without opinion going racing. Why exactly has he said that? Well, because in December of 2022, the FIA rather controversially brought about a new ruling which said that drivers couldn't make quote-unquote political statements without explicit permission from the FIA. And given the fact that F1 has in recent times been trying to be seen as one of those sports that takes a stand for issues that matter, especially in, of course, cases like diversity, inclusion, or whether that be of minorities or the LGBTQIA plus community, there's been a lot of stances they've taken, and in fact they've even started initiatives such as We Race as One. And obviously, with all of these things going on, and the FIA certainly saying, look, we're going to clamp down on all of that, it would make people very anxious. And there's been undertones, but recently Williams driver Alex Albon actually said, he openly admitted the drivers were in fact very, very concerned. Here's what he said. During the Williams car launch recently, he said that, look, we are very much for the We Race as One campaign and all these kind of situations, and it seems like the FIA are trying to go away from that. Of course, we need to be able to speak freely to some extent. And that's the thing, that's the key part. The drivers are very much wanting to use their platform to influence change around the world, but the FIA is saying, don't mix sport and politics. And as Albon says, look, you can tell us not to say certain things or maybe not to take certain stances, but we can't entirely be muzzled. And that exactly has been what the problem has been with this new directive. Drivers really don't feel like they have any kind of voice, and that obviously is going to be a problem. To make things even worse, this isn't really the only major problem that has been taking place with regards to the whole Cold War that's been brewing between the FIA and F1. Why exactly is that the case? Well, because as we've covered on videos on this channel in the past, and you can go ahead and search our channel, check those out if you want some more details, there have been a number of issues that have cropped up. In fact, one of the things that we were talking about in this video is, of course, the ban on political statements, and that went down about as well as you would think it did. The drivers clearly didn't like it, and that's why we're having this conversation about it even now, going into the new season. Not just that, the FIA have been wanting to bring in newer teams into F1. In fact, they've put out an expression of interest to add at least 1 or 2 more teams come the beginning of the 2026 season. F1 probably is less enthused about increasing the number of teams and thus splitting the revenue share that currently exists. That's also become a bit of a sticking point. And what's more, the whole issue that Mohammed bin Sulayem, the FIA president, had, where he spoke out publicly about F1 supposedly being subject to overly inflated bids from the Saudi PIF. That's also something that didn't really go down well with Formula One, because Liberty Media, as the sports stakeholders, are the only ones who have a final say on a sale. The FIA has no say on this matter, and we've done a more detailed video on this very channel. Again, you can go ahead and check it out as well. We've done that video too. So there's a lot of things which are brewing. And to make things worse, as far as the drivers versus Mohammed bin Sulayem FIA president is concerned, the president hasn't made himself very popular with some remarks that were attributed to him, a number of years back, which were rather deemed very, very sexist, where he said that he didn't like women who thought they were smarter than men. Now, obviously, those comments, his spokespeople have said that, they don't reflect the current views of the president and whatnot. But again, it's just adding to a very volatile situation, and the tensions are very much there in the undercurrent. Whether or not this really comes to the surface is something that remains to be seen, because as I said before, Formula One's in a position where it's very, very profitable, it's gaining popularity, you're potentially entering a new boom period for the sport, all looks very, very good. But this sort of a thing can distract from the most important thing, which is helping Formula One grow and making everyone really, really rich, and also putting on a really good product for fans. But that's just how I feel about it. What do you guys think? You can let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon so you know when it is we're going live or uploading a new video, and also follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Last but not least, don't forget to download the AajTak app. Thank you for joining us in this video. If you're on the channel right now, go ahead and check out some of the other videos that we've done through the day as well. For now though, from my side, goodbye.